Why then is it important that we guard our hearts and that we guard our words? And saying that we guard our tongue is guarding what we say that comes out of our mouth. Because our hearts and our feelings of love and our desires to a great extent dictate how we live. And so Solomon understood that. He was a wise man. He gives us counsel. He says, guard your heart above all else. Hallelujah. How did he say we do that? By making sure, hallelujah, that we can concentrate on the things, on the desires that will keep us in a right path. And so I want to give 4 quick counsels to this word. Number 1, please write it down. Make sure your affections push you in the right direction. Number 2, put boundaries on your desires. Number 3, don't go after everything you see with your eyes. Look straight ahead. That this word will serve you as a guard. Keep your eyes fixed on your goal. And finally, number 4 is don't get sidetracked by detours that will lead you to sin. James chapter 3 and verse 8, he tells us that everything that can be tamed has been tamed, except for the tongue, which no man can tame, he says. Here's exactly how he says it. But no man can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil, full of deadly poison. The lesson is clear for you and I as Christians. Very clear. We need to understand this. We all know that the tongue is like a fire. The Bible tells us that can enlighten or put into flames in a complete forest. The question is then today, how can we curb, how can we prevent destruction from spewing out of our mouth as Christians? How do we do that? Well, let me start by saying, in the words of Smokey the Bear, only you can prevent. Not too many of you remember those words, huh? Y'all too young. I know there's a group in the back that might remember. Smokey the Bear, only you can prevent forest fires. What is he telling us here? We must conclude that we are responsible for our words. You can't throw a word out there and not think it's going to have repercussion. Isaiah 55:11 says, such shall be my word. When I cast a word out, it will go out and do that thing for which I sent it. And only after having done that which I sent it out to do, will it come back unto me with dividends. And in our case, they may be positive, but they can also be negative dividends. And we need to take responsibility for our words. Guard your heart, but guard your tongue as well. And this is exactly what Jesus is saying in the scriptures here that we read as he opposed the Pharisees in Matthew chapter 12. He says, listen guys, make a tree good and its fruit is going to be good. But you make a tree bad and its fruit will be bad. Hallelujah. For a tree is recognized by its fruits. You will be recognized not by what you say you are, but by what you do. What comes out of you on a day-to-day basis in your relationship with people. And then Jesus goes as far as saying to the Pharisees, who were the religious leaders back then, half of the people were in the Sanhedrin, he said, why, you little vipers, you little devils, you. That's the word he used here. He says, you brood of vipers. How can you who are evil say anything good? He was talking to religious people. And sometimes the truth hurts. He says, for out of the overflow of your heart you guys speak. And what's coming out, if he called them vipers, was nothing but poison. It wasn't anything that was blessing anybody that was coming out of their mouth. And I think this is, for us, this is a call to our actions. This is a call to our conscience. This is a call to our purpose. By God, let us not get sidetracked and forget what we are doing for Christ, lest what comes out of us is poison.